Hey guys, we are going to get started in just a minute. So this is your last minute reminder. Go ahead and send an invite to someone. Maybe you've got a teacher or educator who is a part of your current team. Maybe you've got a customer who you know needs to hear about this. Maybe you just want to let someone who is currently working full time and wondering how do I fit all of this into my current life and how do I find some work-life balance? Honestly, I think they would also be encouraged by this call. So send your reminder, text them the link, and we'll get started in just a minute. Okay, I'm going to keep us on schedule tonight. My name is Becky Page. I am going to host this call and introduce you to some folks that I think their stories you need to hear. Like if you're just listening in tonight and maybe you're trying to get your kids down, you're going to hear my kids in the background soon. Or maybe this is like your personal mama downtime. And so you're just kind of listening in while you're getting some other stuff done. That's awesome. Perfect. But if you want to turn your camera on, like tonight is just going to be stories. We're not going to give you a PowerPoint. We really want you just to hear from other people. It's back to school season. So we reached out to a few friends that are active in their businesses and asked them to share their stories. And tonight, our whole goal is to encourage you. The purpose of tonight's call is whether you're in the field of education, public or private sector, if you're in the collegiate realm, or if you're a school administration, if you've ever wondered if it's possible to earn while you are helping other people learn, this call is for you, okay? I want to shift for just a minute and give you some cold hard stats because stories are meant to inspire you, but you can't deny the stats. I don't know if you're aware, but 1 in every 3 Americans has been or will soon be diagnosed with a metabolic disorder. Okay. In all its various forms, 1 in 3 Americans is dealing with some kind of metabolic blood sugar disorder. That is specifically what our products target. But here's what else. The global gut health industry, I don't know if you know this, the global gut health industry is currently set at $40 billion in sales a year, and it's growing. By 2031, the number is going to be closer to a $90 billion global market, okay? I say this to you to encourage you. Our products target the growing trends and honestly, the growing studies that occur around metabolic disorders and issues involving gut health. The reason I share this with you is because our products are beneficial from cradle to grave. They are beneficial for male and female, all ages, all races, all demographics, and some of the fastest growing people who are in need of gut health are children and young adults. It has a lot to do with modern food, modern technology, modern medicine. But I just want you to know the need for these products is not going away. It's only going to grow. I say that so that you will get excited that you have something to offer. Okay, so let's shift gears because the whole reason I wanted to have this call is because I was really seeing a trend as I would talk to other people that are at the top of our company. The rank is called Diamond. And I was noticing that a lot of Diamonds had been educators at some point, whether they were in the classroom or they're administrative or they were school counselors or professors or whatever, a lot of teachers. And I kept thinking this is awesome. I'm seeing a trend. To the point where anytime someone who is a teacher would reach out to me, I would think oh, I have 25 stories that I could send you of people in your realm who've been successful. So that's when I reached out to a few other people. I want to go ahead and introduce you to the first person. Now, Corey Paget is from my hometown in Northeast Georgia. It is not a large town. It's a fairly reasonably small town. Everybody knows everybody there, and she's been in the teaching world for a long time. So I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic to Corey. Corey, you can unmute yourself. Just introduce us to your life. And I just want to hear a little bit about how you got started really earlier this spring and how things took off for you.
Can you hear me?
Can.
Okay. I'm Corey Paget. I'm from Elberton, Georgia. I am a wife and a mom of two, and I just started my 16th year of teaching. I've taught pre-K, I've taught kindergarten, and I've taught first grade. This year, I got to do a little something different, and I finally got to come out of the classroom, and I'm the instructional coach at our primary school, and we're a K-2 school. So I'm now getting to be in all the classrooms and not just my own, and work with the teachers. And so I'm super excited about this new endeavor for me as far as what my career holds. As far as how I got started, like Becky said, we're a small town. Everybody knows everybody. And there's several people I've noticed that are on tonight that are part of my upline and who are on my team. And so Ashley and Jody, I know both of them are on. Jody and I have been best friends our whole life. She and I have done Plexus together. We've done Advocare together. We've done a little bit of everything. And so she and I were both doing the ProBio and the BioCleanse. And Ashley really encouraged us to reach out and try some other products. So we did in March, and Jody and I both just took off and soared way more than I ever thought I would do. And I'll say it was hard. It was very difficult. Especially in March, April, and May, end of the school year. And I felt like I was having people text me constantly while I was at work, and learning how to juggle both of those things was super, super hard, but it worked. I had to come up with a time that worked for me, that I could work, after hours at home and just put in the time with the people that were messaging and texting. And I grew to like 20 something people in like a month. I am gold now, and of course as the summers went on, it kind of like tapered off a little bit. So I'm very thankful for Jody and Ashley, because if I didn't have them that stayed on me, because at some times I'll tell you, just to be completely honest, I get to the point of I feel good, I'm going to worry about me, everybody else can do what they want to do. But Ashley and Jody are constantly texting and encouraging me, and they're helping me so much, because with starting back school and this new job, I'm having to learn how to juggle it again. And so they're both so good about reaching out and helping me, stay on top of my customers. And if I did not have their support, it would be really, really hard sometimes to do both of these jobs. Convention was fabulous. I kind of jumped in on a whim and went with Ashley and fell in love, loved it. Became more of a believer in the products, and that it could actually work. And like I said, right now I feel like with school starting back and the stress of things, I'm kind of in a low, I guess, than what I was in the spring. So I'm hoping with encouragement with the two of them that I can get back up to where I am. And we're now working on building my team and trying to find some people up under me. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I enjoy it, and I enjoy getting on the calls and being able to share my stories of how the products work for me and the business aspect. And I'll say I don't start my day without Active. Every morning, that's my go-to first thing in the morning during bus duty.
And it was enough to pull you off that spark finally.
Yes. Yes, it was. Jody and I both.
And what Corey isn't sharing is that she actually went fast start gold, and like she said, towards the end of the school year, when things, as y'all know, just get insane. But not only did she go fast start gold and earn those bonuses, she also has already earned the cruise. And what all extras have you earned on top of the cruise, Corey?
I'm not that far. I want to say, I can't remember how many points I'm away from the cabin upgrade, but I think I've gotten some travel cash,
Yeah, I think you've got a couple.
So I'm
acting like it's no big deal.
I know, and I'm super excited, because normally I don't take off work very much for things, and so I'm excited to have this opportunity, for my husband and I to go, but not only us, but with our friends, because yes, Ashley and Jody have also earned it, and to be able to go with them and experience all this together, it makes it so much more worth it to do it with somebody that you care about.
Absolutely. And to get pampered, like you say, you're about to get the
Yeah.
cabin upgrade. By the way, if you've ever been on a Plexus rewards trip or like a leaders retreat, let us know in the chat. I mean, Plexus does it so like they just love on us really well. That's probably what I'm most excited about, is for you and your husband to be loved on by Plexus. Okay. Thank you, Corey. I
Thank
am
you.
excited for you. Corey's a stud. I'm so glad that she got on. We knew we were catching all the teachers in the middle of y'all's craziness. So, okay, I want to introduce you to Lisa Hudson. Lisa is you're kind of going to see the progression tonight of people and how long they've been doing Plexus as teachers. So, Lisa, take it away. Tell us a little bit about your story.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks for having me tonight. I started Plexus in 2016. I was 42 at the time. I just celebrated my 50th birthday. And my kids I was teaching elementary school, and I had my daughter was in all-star cheer, traveling the country, competing, and my son was a travel hockey player, traveling and competing. And my husband was a police officer. We're now both retired, actually. And if you want to know what two busy parents look like, that's the season I was in when I joined Plexus. And when I joined, money was tight. Like I said, cop and a teacher, 2 kids in travel sports. Every extra dollar that we had at the time was going to hotel rooms, planes, trains, automobiles, all the things, equipment. Our family vacations were competitions. That's where we spent all of our money. And I used to just, like a lot of people in America, lay in bed at night and think about, like, if I could just figure out a way to have an extra $500 a month to, help us have a little bit of breathing room, because, it got to the point sometimes where we were having to charge hotel rooms because we just didn't have the money, and we wanted to keep our kids in these sports, and we were getting more in debt, and it was not a good road to be on. So when I found Plexus, I joined for the products initially, but as soon as Kay, my sponsor, told me about the opportunity, and by the way, she's also a teacher, and not in my district. She was actually, my best friend's a teacher, and she taught with Kay. That's how we met each other. And told me about the opportunity and how easily I could go silver. I was like, well, why not me? This could be the opportunity that I have been looking for. And so I actually, when I signed up, I had my 2 best friends. I was away for the weekend at a water park with our daughters, with one, and then my other one. And I had them talked into signing up with me before I even signed up. So it was kind of like, if I do this, will you guys do it with me, kind of thing? And they both said yes. So I signed up. One night had one, the next day had the other, and then had my third a couple of weeks after. And then once I went silver, I was all in from there. I was like, I went to school. I told my teaching partner, "Oh, I'm getting Alexis. I don't know how, but I'm getting Alexis." And she actually kind of laughed a little bit, like, "Yeah, right. Like, nobody makes money in those things, kind of like that." I was like, I am doing this. And so I started jumping on all the trainings, listening to everything that my, uplines told me. Brandy Walker is my closest diamond, and now one of my closest friends. And we all just kind of worked together. And I taught in a pretty big school district. We had 3 high schools, and, all the way down. And I'm pretty sure there's VIPs and ambassadors on my team, and all the 20 schools in my district now. We have one of my level 1s, Kelly, is an Emerald ambassador, and she's an elementary school teacher in my district. She has 2 senior Ruby teachers underneath her. I have another level 1, Kristen, that's a senior gold. And then we have lots of other senior golds, and, everything in between on our team, who are all teachers. And so teachers really are, I don't want to say they're easy to get on your team, but they're smart, and they trust each other. Teachers trust each other. And so when one teacher tells you, you know, that this is what I'm doing and this is what's working for me, they will jump on with you. And so if you are a teacher, you already have this huge network, you know, depending on how big your school district is, but you really do. And outside of your school district, because teachers know teachers in lots of districts, you know, surrounding you, of people who, one, need the products, of course, and two, would be amazing at this business. And I was just thinking as I was sitting here getting ready for the call, that the teachers in my district report tomorrow morning. It's their first day back at school. And I am moving my daughter into her college apartment tomorrow morning. And I hadn't even thought about it, but I was like, oh my gosh, if I was still teaching, I don't even know what I would do, because I wouldn't have been able to take the first day of school off to move her into her apartment. And so it's really just been a great, you know, opportunity with the time freedom as well, to be able to do those kinds of things and not have to stress about, you know, having to take days off to do that. Now, I did teach for 25 years, and I say this all the time, I would have retired from teaching regardless of Plexus or not, but I would have gone into another full-time job, because I have 2 kids in college now, and I would not have been able to just not work and live off of my teacher pension. But now that I have my teacher pension and my Plexus income, I don't have to have another full-time job, and I'm able to, you know, have the freedom. I have a little part-time job in a little boutique in a cute little downtown area a couple days a week, just for fun, to get out of the house and talk to other people besides my husband. And life is pretty good right now.
I love that, Lisa. I want to ask you one question, because
Yes.
first of all, the fact that you had 2 people lined up before you ever signed up, and the fact that you came straight in and told one of your teaching partners, I'm going to get the Lexus, that just tells me that you had high belief at the beginning. Okay. What would you say to another teacher friend who's like, I don't know if I can do this? What would be your one word of encouragement?
I would probably be honest with them and say, you know, it did take work. I was also thinking about this morning when I was walking, like it took me 2 years to go Emerald. And I probably didn't watch any TV for 2 years at night, because I was on calls, I was working my business, I was taking care of my kids. I would actually be sitting in a parking lot at cheer, getting on calls like this, listening in, training my team, you know, those kinds of things. And it does seem overwhelming, and trust me, I completely understand, because I was in the busiest season of my life when I joined Plexus with my 2 kids in their sports. And I just decided that this was something that I was going to do for my family, and that, you know, besides the products, which, you know, my Plexus now pays for all 4 of our products, all 4, you know, members of my family's products, and that I wanted all of us on these products. And, you know, I obviously didn't have the money to pay for all 4 of our products on when we already didn't have money in the first place. And so now we're able to all take the products, and that's really what I would just tell them, is that it is a commitment. You have to work. It's another job, but it was so much fun for me, and teachers love learning. And for me to be able to learn about something that was also going to make me money at the same time, I just didn't see that there was anything better than that. It was a win-win situation all around for my whole entire family.
Thank you. Thank you, Lisa. Love your story. Okay, I'm going to introduce you to our last friend, Jill Halligan. Jill, tell them about your background and your story as well.
Okay, thank you. So my name is Jill Halligan, and I have been in education for 21 years. I have been a 1st grade teacher, a 6th grade teacher, a 5th grade teacher, a curriculum director, an assistant principal in public school and private school, you name it, I have done it. And I started Plexus for the products as well. I'm sure some of you can relate to this, but I am super passionate about being an educator. And I was super passionate about my job, but I also knew that it was slowly killing me. Anybody relate to that? Yep. lots of health symptoms. I would find myself living off caffeine and out of nowhere, like I always say, having a psycho moment with my kids, like out of nowhere, I'm screaming at them about something silly. Lots of things, reflux, I mean, tons of health issues. And I started for that reason. And the short version is that I was working 70 hours a week on a good week. As a school administrator, you're on all the time. You're on in the summer, you're on in the evenings. And when the products worked for me, I really felt a nudge in the form of a stomach ache. Thank you, God. God would nudge me with a stomach ache when I was in a situation where someone was talking about something going on with them that I knew Plexus could help with, and I wouldn't share. And finally, one day we were leaving an event and my husband said, and I said, man, I have that stomach ache again. And I know it's because so-and-so was talking about their whatever. And I didn't say anything. And he's like, well, maybe you should just talk about it. Like, maybe you should, talk about it and your stomach aches would go away. And sure enough, they did. Sure enough, they did. I had decided that I was too busy. I wasn't a school administrator. My husband's a coach. We went to every game he coached. Both of my kids were in middle school and now in high school and college, playing 2 sports. So I was in season as a sports mom all year round. When I started sharing, similar to Lisa, I started sharing because I felt the nudge that people needed to know that these products worked. I was at my wit's end with my health, and I had always been on a probiotic and I had always been on a multivitamin. And I didn't know that you were supposed to feel the way you feel on Plexus on supplements. And so that was a big motivator for me. But I started sharing because I very quickly learned my son made a very popular travel baseball team. Very popular equates to very expensive. And I realized very quickly on a 2-teacher salary that we had always raised our kids to work hard and earn it. And all of a sudden I realized he earned it and we couldn't afford it. And so all of a sudden I realized very quickly, opportunities come with price tags. And when your parents decide to be teachers, that was a decision that we made. But it was not a decision that I wanted my children's decisions to have to be based on. And so I started sharing. And I guess for me, my mind was always open to network marketing because first and foremost, the products worked for me. But I think that what I learned the most as a teacher and as an administrator is that so many times we don't know our own value as educators, and we most definitely are not told it by other people. If you walk up to an educator at any moment in time and you look them in the eye and you give them a very simple compliment, I guarantee you they're going to cry because they don't know that, they don't value that, they don't hear that. And I learned very quickly in Plexus that my work ethic was equated to my paycheck. And that was like, here we go for me, because I'd always worked harder than my partner teachers. I'd always, stayed later, done the extra thing. I was the, oh, Jill will do it, girl, or it didn't get done right by so-and-so, but we're not going to address that. We'll just give it to Jill and she'll take care of it. And we got the same paycheck. And so when it came to Plexus, it was like, wait a minute, I get to help people feel better. I get paid for my effort. And the more people that I'm willing to talk to about it, the bigger my paycheck gets. And I was like, well, this is a no-brainer, because I say often, your first year as a teacher, you can look 25 years down on your salary schedule and you can see what you're going to make on your last paycheck. And it has nothing to do with your worth or how much you give to your job or any of those things. And so I went to work, and at 70 hours a week, I did not have nooks and crannies. I didn't. I was at work at between 6:30 and 6:45. And on a good day, I was home around 6:30 on a good day. Usually that meant changing in the bathroom at school into my mom clothes and driving to some sports practice or game. And so I just started sharing. For me, it was evenings, because I didn't have time during the day. I didn't have a lunch break. I didn't have all of those things. And so I went to work and I did my job, and I loved my job. And as people would ask me about Plexus, I would tell them, can we talk after school? Can we talk this weekend? Because I just could not multitask and be efficient and effective at both. And so I did weekends and evenings. And what I found was that quiet time when my family went to bed was a really great time for me to not only grow my Plexus business, but to grow myself and learn about who I was as a person and who I wanted to be, and really understanding what I wanted this to do, what I wanted this to become. And so I went Emerald in 2 years, similar to Lisa, and I stayed in my school administrator job for 4 more years. And I will tell you, both sets of my worlds thought I was absolutely crazy. Some of my Plexus friends are laughing at me, because from them, they would say, why are you still doing that education thing? And my education friends would be like, why are you doing that network marketing thing? And it really is 2 different worlds that are very similar and very parallel. Being able to serve others and really being willing to learn and be trained was something that filled my bucket. So after surviving COVID as a school administrator, I decided it was time to just step back and take a breath. And it was the best feeling in the world to know that I could. I literally walked in and said, I'm done. And it was the best, because they asked a lot of questions and they wanted to, can we do this? Can we do that? And you guys, there wasn't a single thing they could offer me. I needed a break, and I had the opportunity to take it. And so I took it. And so it has been amazing to do Plexus full time. But what I really want you guys to hear is that Plexus isn't about retiring or resigning. It's not about that. What it's become for me is that I was able to leave a position that wasn't working for me anymore in this season of my life, that I would have never been able to leave. I would have been stuck in that job forever. And I was able to walk away from that, and God moved as God moves. And I am able to do Plexus full time. But now, by the grace of God, I've been able to put my foot back into education in a way that I never thought possible. And I am currently helping Houston Community College revamp their entire teacher certification program in their field supervision department, which is my love. I'm in classrooms with teachers, and I'm helping people who aren't teachers understand what we should be teaching. And you guys, that's not about the money. That's about being able to spend my time where I want to spend it. And that is so much more valuable than anything else that Plexus could have, given me as far as vacations. Yes, we've done all that. We have the Lexus, we have the lifestyle bonus. We go to Hawaii, we go to Mexico, we paid for the travel sports, but being able to do what I love because I want to, and not because I have to. And it was funny because I was so excited about this project, and somebody said to me, well, how much are you making? And my response was, I don't even know if they're paying me, and I don't even really care. I really don't even care. I was so thrilled to be a part of it. That experience, I think, is what most educators are looking for. I want to find a job that fills my bucket and that I can contribute to in a way where I'm not just rewarded with a jeans pass or chocolate, right? That's what most teachers get. You get a jeans pass, but only on Friday if you wear your school t-shirt, or chocolate, which we all know and love, but it's also the devil in disguise. So it's sort of a catch-22 there. So what I want you guys to know is that as an educator, you do not have to leave your job. You can build the business with Plexus of your dreams and stay in your current position and be a great mom and be on the field and not have to multitask. You can do all those things. You just have to put those things as a priority. And like Lisa said, Netflix, it wasn't a priority. It wasn't. Going out with my girlfriends, I loved going out with my girlfriends, but it wasn't, if I go out with my girlfriends, then I don't have time for Plexus. If I went out with my girlfriends, it means that I missed an event for my kids. Because Plexus, I saw as residual income down the road. It's paid for college. It's done all sorts of things. And my kids are grown. And I can tell you, if you're worried about what are my kids going to think, they are watching you and they're watching you be successful. And there is nothing you can teach them more important than that their mama can be successful at whatever she loves to do. So just to close out, what I would say is that the income potential with Plexus can be whatever you want it to be. I didn't know that I was going to resign when I started Plexus. It was the last thing on my mind. I would have never told you that I was going to get out of education. What I wanted was options, and what I wanted was margin. I wanted to be able to say yes when my son needed new cleats. I wanted to be able to say yes to Chick-fil-A 3 nights in a row when we're 4 states away, living in a hotel, and my family wants to be together, and that's family time on a travel trip. We're going to eat Chick-fil-A 3 nights in a row because we had the money in the bank account to do that. So what I did was I worked for every next option, every next yes that I wanted to give my kids, because every next yes that I worked for also changed somebody's health. And doing those things together was just the most rewarding thing for me. So if you want to make $100 to be able to walk into the grocery store and not have to worry about how much is in your cart, you can do that. If you want to make tens of thousands of dollars and replace your income, you can do that too. There is zero cap on what you can do with this opportunity. And along the way, you will find the most positive, amazing, encouraging people to help you along the way that I would have never found in education. I just wouldn't have. Plexus, the Plexus community, they're a different breed. Like, they believe in all of your dreams as much as you do. And any single person on this call that you talk to would encourage you in the same way that I would. So I hope that you guys consider doing both and looking at what that option is, because had I not just decided to give it a shot, when I really needed a break, when my health was crumbling, and quite honestly, after COVID, when I was just sick and tired of being told what to do, I would have been stuck in that job. And I was able to walk in and say, no more, I'm done. Peace out. You all do you. I'm moving on. And it was a blessing in so many ways to my family. So I will pass it back to you, Becky. I probably took too long, but I hope that somebody that was encouraging to someone.
So very encouraging, Jill. You know how much I admire you. I want to tell you this. I think there's probably 2 kinds of people on the call, and I'm going to tell you about next steps and then we'll close. You are either someone who's curious about Plexus, and maybe you have a teacher friend who's bugged you, or maybe just a friend in general. Maybe you're a teacher who somebody else has been bugging about Plexus, or you're already a customer and someone invited you to be on this call. And you're like, well, what do I do now? Because this is inspiring. And you just go to the person that invited you to the call. She's going to be able to tell you the next steps. If you're on the call and you're like, I want this, like, I'm hearing these stories and I do want this, I want to tell you something. The only thing, there's 2 things standing in the way of you having these stories. One is your belief, whether it's your belief in the products, yourself, or the industry. But the second is a set of skills that you need to learn. There's no magic pill. There's no one personality. There's no one type of person that's good at this. I mean, we just talked to 3 very different ladies, and I can only tell you that it takes all kinds. Okay. But it is a set of skills that needs to be learned. And that's what you're hearing, is that it does take time. So if you're a teacher and you're like, well, I've been trying this and I don't know, listen, let us teach you. Okay. Let us turn the table and show you how to do something new. If you are already a member of our team page, that's just, or you're a member of some team page somewhere, you start there. Just go get trained. Okay. We love you. I hope you hear tonight the value that we see in your career and what you're doing, pouring into others, using your whole life to pour into others. We believe in you and we want to help you do this and do it well and see your dreams come true. Okay. Thank you guys so much for listening. Hey, thanks to our speakers. I so appreciate y'all. Okay. For everyone who's going to teach tomorrow, like I'm ending this call and I'm going to pray over you tonight. Okay. We care about you. We love you. Y'all have a great evening.